the goalkeeper and the captain, Charles Kaluma. Number 3, Fred Wike. Number 6, John Soko. Number 8, Edison Shisala. Number Number 14, Evans Kayombo. Number 15, Andrew Randa. Number 20, Tila Sankara. And number 22, Owen Tembo. And the coach is President Champezi.
Joining us now is the coach of Botswana, Coach Morena Ramurebudi. Coach, it's simple. Win 2-0 and you're through, but 1-0, we still have to look at other things. Your approach today?
Yeah, difficult situation, but I've said to them, we have put ourselves in this situation and we must work hard to take ourselves out of this situation. We need to win, we need to play well, we need to score, but I think priority is to firstly play with dominance, play with bravery, and I think the rest will follow. If we dominate the game like we did in the previous match, it will be easy for us to try and correct a few things which I think we did not do them right, especially scoring goals. I just believe that we'll get an opportunity to create those opportunities again and score them. From a video session, I think we have seen how positive things were. We just need to get the results.
You're playing a team that's already out of the tournament, which could just want to spoil things for you, or even go out or with a bang.
Most dangerous team. If you look at what happened yesterday, where Mozambique needed to win or maybe play a draw and go through, they lost to a team that had already been out of the tournament. So they are very dangerous, and they are a very good team. I've seen them. We went through their videos. They are a very, very stable team. So we'll just have to focus, respect them, but try our level best to make sure that we fight for positive results. As we always say, we need to create our own luck again today, fight as hard as we can, represent Botswana and make Botswana proud.
Thank you, Coach, and all the best.
Galebo.
And we're now joined by the assistant coach of Zambia, Coach Beston Chambeshi. Coach, this is a very interesting match in the sense that you are out of the tournament, but you still have a say as to who goes through. Your approach against Botswana?
Yeah, as we have said, it's a big game for us. And playing Botswana, it's sometimes an easy game. We have played them before. It's a team we should respect, and also they have to respect us too. So it will be an entertaining game.
And what do you really know about Botswana? Because I know, according to history, they've never beaten you. So you have the advantage.
Yeah, no, football is changing. That's why I'm happy and say thank you for COSAFA, what they have done for this part of Africa. They have bring in competition. They have bring in even to ask coaches to come and identify talent. And every team and every coach is looking at the players he has. And for sure, teams have changed now. We have to, just as I said, you have to respect Botswana. They have changed their route because I was coaching there. I stayed there for some time. I know what I'm talking about.
And coach, this is also tricky for the players in the sense that there's nothing to play for. But how do you then push them to do well in this game?
Yeah, for sure. The players, they have to show their character. They have to show their talent, and this is the game they must enjoy too. Even for us as coaches, we have to see to it that yes, the players, they are learning something from us as coaches, and it's their party today.
And lastly, coach, any changes to the team that played last game?
Yeah, there are 3-4 changes in the team because each and every player we brought here, they came here to play. So we are trying by our level best as they can take on staff to give each and everyone time to play.
Thank you, coach, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's welcome the national teams of Botswana and Zambia. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Botswana. And now, a national anthem of Zambia.
Captain. Yes, wait for him to come. I know you will go. It's okay. Captain, go for the toss. Captain, go for the toss. Captain. Picture for the picture. Nicely. Smile. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Botswana's first goal scored by number 13, Pena Nicholas Sirame.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come on, Sirame. Come on, boy. Go. Ronaldo. Wanyana Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Defend Ronaldo. One. Easy goal. Easy goal. Left side. Sam. Block boy. Right there. Away, boy. Let's go up on the man, boy. Clear is up. Johnny, clear the ball. It's okay. Hey, man, one guy is
What a blistering Botswana start. It's Fred Mwiche.
Ronaldo, away. Blank side to Ronaldo, blank side. Aska 10. Away.
Western Chambeshi is overseeing this tie. Ngada. Simari flicks it on, but commits a foul in the process. And Miss Makalima notices. When the dust settles at the end of this match and the other bout, just a stone's throw away from here, when the dust settles, 10 nations will head back home and watch on as to what could have been, what they could have achieved in this year's COSAFA Cup, hosted in the City of Roses. And Botswana and Eswatini may be in separate groups, but their mission is aligned. It's win or bust. Semi-final or early group stage elimination. But as for Tanzania and Zambia, it's a consolation match, this one, to show us all what we could be missing out on in the Final Four stage. But it's been tough going recently in the COSAFA Cup for the most successful nation in the history of the COSAFA Cup. Here's Thabo Maponda, puts on the afterburners, still Maponda sits the defender down. Shouts of a handball when Banda was on the turf. And if there was, VAR will be the first to point it out to Akona Makalima. Big crash there in the middle of the park. This was the earlier chance. That did touch the arm, it did touch the hand. They should have a look at that. They really should have a look at that. Wasn't Banda, it was Owen Tembo. Seems like play is going to continue. Might have been worth a look. They might have had a look, but decided it wasn't enough, it wasn't a purposeful handball. Definitely denied Simari progress. Definitely denied him the opportunity to get closer to Zambia's goal. Whether it was on purpose or not. Sakana. Zambia just need to try and settle themselves. Yet to do so in this competition. Banda steps forward for the Copper Bullets. Can they provide an immediate response? It's no. Moringwana mops up for Botswana. Failure to clear might let them down here. It might yield an opportunity for Zambia. Banda measures up his cross. It's going to be another chance for deliverance. Competent gather by Thabo Motswakgole. As good as Botswana may have been against Comoros, they must try and be better. They've already made a much better and bolder start in this match. Their coach, Morena Ramoreboli, really wanted them to be more full throttle in the attacking spaces, and he really wanted them to take their chances whenever they presented themselves to them, and he couldn't have wished for a better start. The only thing lacking from their group opener was a goal against Comoros. They've grabbed their crucial goal here, their crucial lead against Zambia. Another big crash in the midfield. Evans Kayombo seems to be fine after that collision. His counterpart, though, Nicholas Serameng, not as much. Medical staff just doing their checks before Nicholas Serameng is helped back on his feet. So a goal here between these two. No goal as of yet next door at the much bigger Toyota Free State Stadium between Eswatini and Tanzania. It's almost an identical situation in which Group D finds itself in. Eswatini and Tanzania playing their final group matches. Tanzania have already been rendered, eliminated. Eswatini have to defeat them in order to progress to the final four instead of Madagascar. And remember that Madagascar and Comoros in this group, in Group D, had their opportunities to go through to the semi-finals on Tuesday. But they failed to win, they failed to grab their chances. And now the opportunity has fallen to Botswana and Eswatini. Botswana haven't been to the semi-finals since 2019. Eswatini haven't been there since 2003-04. Here's Fortune. Here's Sakana for Botswana. Another really good delivery into the box. Fred Mwiche. Good header from Mulambia. And what some would say a good professional foul on Chisala. Banda is open. Owen Tembo. Now the Taifa stars, the younger stars you did not see against Hugo Broos' Bafana Bafana, might have misjudged their opening game. But they will be a handful for the King's Shield. The Copper Bullets might have misjudged their opening game against Comoros. But they will be a handful for Botswana today. Or so you would imagine, considering their sparkling and glittering record in the COSAFA Cup. But it's been a disjointed campaign so far for the Copper Bullets. Botswana, though, have scored their first goal in this match, their first goal of the competition, provided by their reliable number 10, Khamanyani. Boot issues for the referee. I've seen plenty of colourful boots these days in the modern game. That's the tried and trusted pair that will never let you down. And look at the comparison between the two. Both three stripes, the other more traditional than the other. Bit of a hold-up here before Sakana can take this one. We have visited the Dr. Petrus Molemela Stadium before in this COSAFA Cup, but it is being utilized for the final time today, for the knockout rounds beckon at the Toyota Free State Stadium, and that is where Botswana picture themselves. Andrew Piri. Botswana ball. Botswana did have to toil hard and deny Comoros a semi-final place last time out. It was a scoreless affair, so what they intend to do today is to play with the same defensive application, as you can already see, whilst clutching on to their chances. And according to the current state of affair in this group, Botswana must score twice to be undeniable COSAFA Cup semi-finalists in order to deny any further calculation and investigation into how many cards they might have received throughout this tournament. This only being their second match. Remember, there's two bigger groups, the two four-nation groups in Group A and B that was won by South Africa and Angola yesterday. Today it's the smaller groups that are stealing the show, stealing the attention. Banda gives it away, as does Evans Kayombo. Here's Nicholas Serameng. Neither team so far taking charge in the middle of the park. But Botswana and Khamanyani did take charge of their moments. A goal when the Zambian defense was still in the process of settling down, composing itself, getting ready for future attacks. And just like that, Zambia trail. The Copper Bullets also yet to score in this year's COSAFA Cup. Didn't score in last year's competition either, did Zambia. So will history repeat itself? They need to lead some kind of a fight back here. It's a match of pride for them. Long throw-in chance for Banda, who has come all the way across from the right-hand flank to take this one on the left-hand side. Clearly an expert. With a long throw-in, and you can see why. Launched it in there. Well taken, however, by Thabo Matswakgole. That's a good clearance from the goalkeeper. It works out to be a really good ball. And Maponda has got excellent speed on him. This time he does beat Sankala. The cross just breezing over the teammates and the Zambian defenders. And they now lead an attack to the Copper Bullets. Good first-time ball from Fred Mwiche. And that's sturdy defensive work by Modingwana. Got his arm across and saw it out of play. But Thabo Maponda is proving to be a handful on that right-hand side, starting on the left for Botswana. And it just went over the head of Ronaldo Fortune. Nicholas Serameng needed some assistance, needed some medical help. About 5 minutes ago, Thabo Matswakgole needing some assistance as well. The captain of Zambia, dressed in pink, donning the gloves. Kalumba receiving instruction from his bench. Mark Fish taking notes. Morena Ramoreboli has been the caretaker of South Africa in this competition before. But his only task right now, his only concern right now is to create a slice of history with the Zebras, but his goalkeeper has got a problem. Problem on the right thigh. People young and old are in the ground today, just like they were yesterday. We saw a sizable crowd yesterday. But it's in the middle of the week. The hosts might not be playing. The defending champions, Angola, might not be playing. But you are looking at possible semi-finalists here in the shape, in the form of Botswana. And this is exactly the opening 20-minute spell that they were craving at the start of the match when they arrived early on. A second goal would really put them in a position of power in Group D. That's a thumping goal clearance from Thabo Motswakgole. Fortune. Underbakes his pass. Simari shows really good composure. Moringwana, Nicholas Serameng, Johnson, the captain. Ngada. The goalkeeper was placed under pressure there, forced to do exactly what he did there, and wasn't really wanting the back pass, and didn't look comfortable when it arrived at his feet. And due to the short and sweet nature of this competition and their own inadequacies, Zambia have no chance of a semi-final place due to the one goal they conceded in their opening match. Just the one goal means it's another disappointing COSAFA Cup for the misfiring Copper Bullets. Can they leave this competition with a big departing gift, with a big bang? They're going to have to do it from behind. Shouts of away, and Simon does oblige. So not much entertainment in this match so far, other than the opening goal we witnessed from Khamanyani, who really took it well. Got a little bit fortunate with the deflection, but it did seem as if it was going on target either way. Speculative attempt again, it's flashed wide. Chance out of the blue for Ronaldo Fortune. Again, they've generated quite a few opportunities from a direct goal kick, Botswana. And there's going to be a yellow card here. Kona Makalima cuts a stern facial expression and gives Simon a yellow card, which isn't what you want to hear if you're a fan of Botswana, if you follow the Zebras, considering that the semi-final spot, the winners of Group D, may very well be decided by whoever accumulated less or more yellow and red cards between Botswana and Comoros. We'll have a look at those records. We'll have to tally them up if this match ends this way, remember? Botswana, they will want to add to their advantage. This time it's a Zebra that's down. And he'll be winded for a few moments. That's a nasty slide. Conditions underfoot are not exactly what you would want it to be for this caliber of a clash. Players slide, their studs stick in the surface, they stick in the mud, the dried up mud, and then something like that can happen. So for now, the Zebras rendered down to 10. Zambia with the one-man advantage. Sankala. He's gone long before, he goes long again. Fred Muche. Mulambia. The Comoros players and coaches back at the hotel must be a bag of nerves. And everyone back in their home country too. Wouldn't like the sight of this current scoreline in its current shape. That's kept in, but at the price of giving Zambia possession back. Owen Tembo can play at centre half. He has played in the midfield before for the Copper Bullets. John Soko. Zambia have sharpened up at the back after, well, they needed to after conceding terribly early against the Zebras. Johnson. Johnson to Modingwana. Simari with a good touch. Botswana can look ahead now. Ronaldo Fortune takes on his man. Makalima points to the penalty spot. Maybe poetic justice for the earlier penalty call that didn't go Botswana's favor. This time around, Ronaldo Fortune winning the spot kick for the Zebras. Fred Mucha was just singing his praises moments ago for having a good start to this game, and then he goes and commits a cardinal sin. The ball was tapped into space by Ronaldo Fortune, and then Fred Mucha put his body in the way. Illegally so, and I doubt it's going to be overturned. This is massive. This will temporarily cement Botswana's place at the top of the group, if it goes in. Huge pressure on the shoulders of Simadi. Huge pressure, but huge occasion. And he can really announce himself to the COSAFA region, to South Africa and Angola that will be watching on. They'll be watching this match with great intrigue. Comoros look away now. This is exactly how the Zebras would have wanted it to go. Simadi on penalty kick duties for Botswana. Under pressure, top spot beckons. If this goes in, Botswana will be in prime position for a semi-final place. Makalima might just be hearing something in her ear from the virtual assistant referee. Maybe they're checking it just to make sure. She's pressed pause, and while she has pressed pause, there is news of a goal at the other stadium. Eswatini have struck against Tanzania. Huge goal for them. They need to score, they need to win, and they are on track to do so. It's between them and Madagascar for a semi-final place in Group C. In this one, it's between Botswana and Comoros. And this is going to be a defining call by the virtual assistant referee. And they are checking offside, apparently. So nothing wrong, I think, with the initial penalty decision. But they are checking an offside probably against Ronaldo Fortune. Didn't seem to be anything wrong with the move in real time. And this long check is just simply adding to the tension, adding to the existing nerves for Simadi if he does end up taking it. Agonizing wait for both nations. Agonizing wait for all three nations in this group, should I say. And this is the major critique facing the virtual assistant referee, the amount of time it takes to arrive at certain decisions. But it does seem as if the decision is final. The decision has been made. Simadi with a unique run-up with a little routine. Let's see what he can produce. He sneaks it in there. And he steers the Zebras to a 2-goal lead against Zambia. Under the pump. He needed to stick that one away with confidence. He chose his spot, and he absolutely buried it. Kalumba guessed the right direction, got down nice and low, but Serati, Simadi had other ideas. Just goes to show, if you pick your spot, if you put it right in the corner with enough power, there's nothing the goalkeeper can do, even if he does guess the correct side. A tough one for him to take, for the Zambians to take. But a glorious moment for Botswana. And now that has changed the game, changed the state of Group D just a little bit. That goal means now Botswana will progress as semi-finalists if they can maintain a 2-goal lead against Zambia, courtesy of a superior goal difference to Comoros, who only defeated Zambia by 1-0. The head-to-head is null and void, seeing that Botswana drew 0-0 with Comoros. So far, it's the Zebras' afternoon. Ngada. Fortune. Brings a lot of fortune for this Botswana unit. And his trickery, his drop of the shoulder, forced the mistake from Fred Mwiche. When this match started, Morena Ramoreboli would have told the Zebras not to leave anything to chance. Not to leave this group up to certain calculations and magnifying investigations. And the only way they could have done so is to score 2 goals, which they have done. So, really, so far, the perfect outcome for Botswana as things stand. Things could change on a dime. They might change now. Good gather by Thabo Motswakgole. So Botswana, 2 to the good against Zambia. Eswatini, 1 to the good against East Africans Tanzania. Yesterday, the likes of Mauritius, Namibia and Zimbabwe offered marvelous departing performances from the competition. They knew it was their last chance to impress, and so they did. And Zambia would have hoped to follow suit, but they are far from clicking. The 7-time winners don't look themselves. And Botswana haven't been forward too often in this match against Zambia, but every time they go, every time they attack the Copper Bullets, they look dangerous, they look likely to score. And this could be another example of that, with the first goal scorer, Khamanyani. Thabo Maponda. He looks to be an exciting, speedy talent. Does Thabo Maponda. Someone Botswana will definitely need in the semi-final stage and maybe beyond. That's if they can get there. That's if they can maintain this wonderful start that they've been able to offer so far. Owen Tembo. A little bit more sunshine today than what there was yesterday. John Soko is fouled by Simari. He had nerves of steel. And taking the penalty. Less than 10 to go of the first half. There is news of another goal at the other stadium, at the Toyota Free State Stadium, and unfortunately for Eswatini, they have conceded against Tanzania. Their fate might be sealed, but they have struck back against the King Shield, courtesy of a goal from Idi Ali for the Taifa Stars. So that has thrown a spanner into the works in Group C. None so far in this one. Ronaldo Fortune decided to strike it with the laces, but struck it against a man in orange. Chisala. And I do stand to be corrected, but Zambia have had more of the possession in this match so far. Botswana, though, a little bit more proficient, efficient with it. That Tanzanian equalizer that I mentioned would have been great news to Madagascar, who go back to the top of Group C, temporary occupants of a semi-final place. And the semi-finals will kick off on Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. The second semi-final will be decided at 6 o'clock. Both matches emanating from the stadium up Oliver Tambo Road. Thabo Maponda, good touch from him. Ronaldo Fortune across the face. Sankala clears the Zambian lines. Falls for Chisala. That's a clear foul. Should be a yellow card. Might be a yellow card, I think. He did lose his footing. Wasn't any real malicious intent, I think. Although it's very high. It is very high. From Sakana. And that's a good decision from the referee. No nonsense officiating, which is good to see. Punishing the punishable offence. Botswana are racking up the yellow cards. And with that in mind, they need to rack up the goals just to be extra sure and extra careful. John Soko didn't exactly know what to do with that free kick chance. Instead, he's gone back to his centre-half partner, Owen Tembo, and then here's Sankala. No offside against Fred Mwiche. Good ball from Chonsoko. Good chance for Zambia. Wow, that was close. Eye-catching maneuver from the Copper Bullets. From a long ball into the box. A header across the face. And then a volley attempt, a half-volley attempt in actual fact by Andrew Phiri. Just skating wide. But Botswana can breathe again. Still 2 goals to the good of the Zebras. With less than 5 minutes to go of regulation time in this first half. That has had 2 highlight reel moments. The one deflected goal from Khamanyani and the penalty strike from Simadi after a lengthy VAR check. Evans Kayombo. What can he produce? Kayombo goes to the fullback, Fred Mwiche. Will settle for a throw-in. And as you can see there, Banda immediately making his way to it, to the scene of the throw-in. That's a tough one to take. A run-up from the athletics track onto the grass. A very, very long run-up. It's quite dangerous to run that far, one would think, with studs on that surface. Banda, it's a missile into the box. Chance, great chance. Deflection on it, but question from who? Who did it come off last? Makalima said it came off a Zambian last. Absolute arrow of a throw-in. And that should have been a corner kick to Zambia. Viara just having a look at this. It came off the upper arm. You could see that he was trying to pull his left arm in. Was Modingwana. Now the penalty is up for discussion, but Zambia definitely deserve a corner kick. There is a penalty check on the go. Modingwane, the subject of intrigue, the subject of study. This would be harsh, considering that a similar decision went in favor of Zambia when the ball struck their defender, Sanala, and the ball struck his arm in the box. That looked a little bit more blatant than this one of Modingwane, but you're never quite sure. Those 2 VAR officials have been kept busy in this first half. Another look for us all to see and to finally make up our minds, maybe. Did he stick out his upper shoulder there? This is going to be a really interesting decision. In between shoulder and arm, as the assistant coach of Zambia, Beston Chambeshi, watches on, hopes that a call can go their favor, that Zambia can potentially score their first goal of the competition, and their first goal in 5 COSAFA Cup matches. It's been a long time running for them, and this just takes all the sting out of the competition. If it takes so long to make a decision, then rather stick with the on-field decision. Keep the game moving. For now, all the players can do is to simply wait before they can scratch the itch again. And now she's only being called to the pitch monitor. This needs to happen a lot quicker. It really does need to happen a lot quicker. Nonetheless, let's see what decision Akona Makalimak will arrive to. Now, I don't think we were looking at the handball. The handball that was understudy. Looking at that one. Now that looks like a handball to me. And Akona Makalima is just going through her mental processes. You could see, you can see, should I say, she's in constant discussion. Over there. Did it clinch the hand? That is definitely a hand in an unnatural position. So, as we initially thought, Modingwane is not the topic of discussion. I think it's their number 9, Simadi, that went to challenge for the ball in the air, and Makalima has made up her mind. There will be another twist to the Group D tail. She points to the spot, and Zambia can half the deficit. That's the correct decision, again. Not for that one. Was the other one. And Makalima points to the spot. Comoros have hope. Zambia have hope. We're deep into stoppage time of the first half. There will be a lot of time still to go. 2 lengthy VAR stoppages, 2 goal celebrations, and now a showdown. Thabo Matswakgole trying to get in the mind of the penalty kick taker. Charles Zulu steps up for the copper bullets and strokes it home with ease and with class. 2 penalties in this game, one scored by Simadi, the other by Charles Zulu. It is not over just yet. Don't write the obituary of Comoros just yet. And there was a pause in the run-up by Charles Zulu, a slight pause, and an emphatic finish. The race is on. Botswana forced to do it again. It's all square now, again in the group between themselves and Comoros. They seek parity once more. Zambia, though, finally ending their goal drought in the COSAFA Cup. It has been almost 5 years to the day when Botswana last qualified for the COSAFA Cup, last 4. All in all, from 1997, when this competition was born, up until now, Botswana have accessed the semi-finals only 4 times. So that should motivate them. Many have failed in the endeavor they are currently pursuing today. And they've been far from their brilliant best, Botswana, but they've managed to do enough. And they do deserve to be ahead of Zambia. Zambia, however, did grow into the contest. He almost saved the spot kick, did Kalumba. you believe, you would think, that there's a few more goals to come in this clash. It's far from over between Botswana and Zambia, and Group D is far from being wrapped up. The Group C matter between Eswatini and Tanzania has been wrapped up after the first 45 over there. It's still 1-1. Let's see how this first half will end off. It's allowed to bounce in the box. Ronaldo Fortune against Mwiche again. Sankala. Fortune. Knee turn from Chisala. The goalkeeper forced to come out. Need to make extra sure. And so he did. That's great play from Ronaldo Fortune. Just to simply knock it off Mulambia. You don't often see 9 minutes being added on after the first 45, but this is the case today. VAR very much an active participant in this contest. And Botswana are in charge of their own fate, but Zambia having a say, making their presence felt. Evans Kayombo. Owen Tembo. John Soko. He's attempted that massive switch a fair number of times in this first half, and he's attempted and succeeded again. But here's Thabo Maponda. Zambia getting full use of the football recently. Making the ball do the talking. That's great work again. This is going to be a great Zambian goal if the finishing touch can be found, but it isn't. It was a great save, but the offside flag was raised, so it wasn't going to count. But that's a marvelous bit of play from the Copper Bullets. Direct and incisive. The kind of play that's been lacking from their general play at this year's COSAFA Cup. And that's a save off the knee of Thabo Matswagole. Botswana simply cannot afford for Zambia to cause the equalizer just before the halftime break. They do appear a little bit rattled, unsettled by that Zambian penalty. John Soko. Met by the whistle of Akona Makalima, who brings the close to the first 45 between Botswana and Zambia. A must-win match, remember, for the Zebras. And they've done what they intended to do. And they lead the Copper Bullets by 2-1. They really didn't want to concede that Zambian goal. But that has definitely made their job a whole lot more difficult. They need to score again in the second half. Remember, Botswana, as things stand, it's 4 points for them, 4 points for Comoros. Mind you, they do have more goals in this competition than Comoros, which is good news to Botswana. So as things stand, Botswana will progress to the Final Four. It ends after halftime, 2-1 to the Zebras. More possession for Zambia, but they trail against the Zebras, who have been a little bit more accurate with their shots on target. Decent first half display from both teams. Many more goals in it, many more moments of drama still to unfold in the final match in Group D of the COSAFA Cup. We'll see you back for the second half. Chisala loses out, but Simadi picks it up for Botswana. He's going to be integral. Ronaldo Fortune, equally so. Great ball from Fortune. Chance though for Botswana. No! It ends up in the back of the net. They wanted a fast start. They wanted a fervent start. And the Zebras have got it. Khamanyani scores. A huge goal for the Zebras. They've never, ever beaten the Copper Bullets before. And that is exactly the kind of statement they would have wanted to make. Khamanyani, the goal scorer for Botswana. It was a nervy start by their goalkeeper, Thabo Motswakgole, but not for their attackers. It was a sumptuous cross into the box by Ronaldo Fortune that asked all of the right questions. Zambia failed to clear their lines. There was a desperate defensive attempt. But Banda couldn't do enough. The goalkeeper went the other way. But it's been tough going recently in the COSAFA Cup for the most successful nation in the history of the COSAFA Cup. Here's Thabo Maponda, puts on the afterburners. Still Maponda sits the defender down. Shouts of a handball when Banda was on the turf. And if there was, VAR will be the first to point it out to Akona Makalima. Big crash there in the middle of the park. This was the earlier chance. That did touch the arm, it did touch the hand. They should have a look at that. They really should have a look at that. That's a good clearance from the goalkeeper. It works out to be a really good ball. And Maponda has got excellent speed on him. This time he does beat Sankala. The cross just breezing over the teammates and the Zambian defenders. And they now lead in attack to the Copper Bullets. Good first time ball from Fred Mwiche. And that's sturdy defensive work by Modingwana. Got his arm across and saw it out of play. But Thabo Maponda is proving to be a handful on that right-hand side, starting on the left for Botswana. Johnson. Johnson to Modingwana. Simari with a good touch. Botswana can look ahead now. Ronaldo Fortune takes on his man. Makalima points to the penalty spot. Maybe poetic justice for the earlier penalty call that didn't go Botswana's favor. This time around, Ronaldo Fortune winning the spot kick for the Zebras. Fred Mwiche was just singing his praises moments ago for having a good start to this game, and then he goes and commits a cardinal sin. Agonizing wait for both nations. Agonizing wait for all three nations in this group, should I say. And this is the major critique facing the virtual assistant referee, the amount of time it takes to arrive at certain decisions. But it does seem as if the decision is final. The decision has been made. Simari with a unique run-up with a little routine. Let's see what he can produce. He sneaks it in there and he steers the Zebras to a 2-goal lead against Zambia. Under the pump. He needed to stick that one away with confidence. He chose his spot and he absolutely buried it. Kalumba guessed the right direction, got down nice and low, but Serati, Simari had other ideas. Just goes to show, if you pick your spot, if you put it right in the corner with enough power, there's nothing the goalkeeper can do, even if he does guess the correct side. A tough one for him to take, for the Zambians to take. When this match started, Morena Ramoreboli would have told the Zebras not to leave anything to chance. Not to leave this group up to certain calculations and magnifying investigations. And the only way they could have done so is to score 2 goals, which they have done. So, really, so far, the perfect outcome for Botswana as things stand. Things could change on a dime. They might change now. Good gather by Thabo Motswakgole. So Botswana, 2 to the good against Zambia. Eswatini, 1 to the good against East Africans Tanzania. John Soko don't exactly know what to do with that free kick chance. Instead he's gone back to his centre-half partner Owen Tembo, and then here's Sankala. No offside against Fred Mwiche. Good ball from Chonsoko. Good chance for Zambia. Wow, that was close. Eye-catching maneuver from the Copper Bullets. From a long ball into the box. A header across the face. And then a volley attempt, a half-volley attempt in actual fact by Andrew Piri. Just skating wide. Banda, it's a missile into the box. Chance, great chance. Deflection on it, but question from who? Who did it come off last? Makalima said it came off a Zambian last. Absolute arrow of a throw-in. And that should have been a corner kick to Zambia. So, as we initially thought, Modingwane is not the topic of discussion. I think it's their number 9, Simari, that went to challenge for the ball in the air, and Makalima has made up her mind. There will be another twist to the Group D tail. She points to the spot, and Zambia can half the deficit. Steps up for the Copper Bullets and strokes it home with ease and with class. 2 penalties in this game, one scored by Simari, the other by Charles Zulu. It is not over just yet. Don't write the obituary of Comoros just yet. And there was a pause in the run-up by Charles Zulu, a slight pause. And an emphatic finish. A warm welcome back to you and yours. It's a cold afternoon in the City of Roses, but a beautiful afternoon nonetheless. And that first half was a beautiful outcome for Botswana. 2-1, they lead Zambia heading into the second half. South Africa have already progressed to the semi-finals courtesy of some divine Zimbabwean intervention. Angola are also through. Namibia fought hard. Lesotho fought hard in that Group B, as did Malawi, although they finished just with the 1 point. Group C's matter is currently still being resolved. Group D is yet to be confirmed. Madagascar on the top of Group C as things stand. Botswana on the top of Group D as things stand. They simply cannot afford to concede against Zambia. As things stand, they have the same amount of points as Comoros. Their head-to-head record is identical. Their goal difference is identical. It's 1-1 in that department as well. But the only differentiating factor so far, the factor keeping Botswana in the running, putting them first in the running for a semi-final spot, is their goals for, and they've scored more goals in this competition than Comoros. And the more they score, the better, the more convincing it'll be. And the second half does get underway. Zambia did have more of the ball in the first half. And that trend might continue into the second half. We'll just have to wait and see. Chisala forces the issue when it didn't need to be forced. And if you didn't know, 2 penalty kicks were also scored in the first half. 1 apiece. Lovely spin and then speed in behind by Thabo Maponda. Still he goes. What a run this is. Thabo Maponda nearly found Simari if it wasn't for Owen Tembo. But not for the first time this game. Thabo Maponda is producing some magical runs. And he's had Banda guessing all game long, Thabo Maponda. Deserves another look. It was a simple spin in behind, and then he had the speed and the beating of Banda, who tried in vain to deny his progress into the box. And that stretch has put him in this position. Conjunction of coaches meeting, discussing plans for the second half against Morena Ramoreboli's Botswana team. Achieved some marvelous things with Jwaneng Galaxy in the Botswana Premier League. He was transferring all of that success, he hopes, to the national side. Simply boils down to game management now for Botswana. Do they maintain? Because as things stand, they will go through. Do they run the risk of Zambia scoring against them if they try to soak up the pressure? Or do they go and chase another goal in this game? Perhaps it's somewhere in between. Between prudence at the back and then persistence in the final third. Ronaldo Fortune has been a really good watch for them. Here he goes. Fortune manages to get across into the box. A cross that goes over the head of Thabo Maponda. Gada. Simon. Here goes Johnson. Subdued performance so far from Botswana's captain. Botswana looks set up. Zambia look hungry. Fred Muiche. Not what he was hoping to offer. The last 2 COSAFA Cups may have been a huge blip, a head-scratcher for Zambia, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the Copper Bullets are 17-time semi-finalists in the COSAFA Cup. No team has been able to come near that record, but each year that Zambia miss out, their records are jeopardized. They missed out last year, they will miss out this year. They are playing to spoil Botswana's party, to deny them passage through to the final 4 stage. John Soko leaves it for his goalkeeper, Kalumba. ...50 minutes on the clock. We saw a quick goal in the first half, no quick goal in the second half. And this again serves as a reminder that Eswatini are currently in action against Tanzania, still 1-1 in that bout. Plenty of goals today, plenty of goals yesterday as well, in a tournament that did take a while to get going. Many teams succumb to the pressure, the expectation. And many teams rose to the occasion. Botswana doing so. Another long throw-in special from Banda, incoming. And look at how he creeps, how he stalks his prey before launching this one in. Banda for Zambia, it needs to be won by someone, it's a chance, still it's out for a corner kick. It was another attempt from Charles Zulu, who scored their only goal of the first half. No need for the goalkeeper. And after trying to score for the second time today, he's going to try and produce the second goal for Zambia instead. Try and assist one of the men in orange and black, Charles Zulu. Puts it in there! The equalizer has been scored! Sankala for Zambia. And just like that, Comoros are back in the contest. They are the leaders now of Group D. They might be heading out of the competition. This might not be the best Zambian team we've seen in the history COSAFA Cup. Far from. But they have shown fight, and a lot of it. And they were all over Botswana on that corner kick situation. The goalkeeper nowhere near. The defenders static. And the Copper Bullets nailing the target for the second time, going from 2 goals behind. Here's Thabo Maponda though. Possible rebuttal. Fortune. Play continues, or initially it did, but the free kick has been given by Akona Makalima. And a promising piece of real estate on the football field. Almost exactly where a prospective free kick taker wants to place the ball. We saw an out-of-this-world free kick scored by Eswatini's captain a few days ago on the opposite side of the ground from a similar position. So now the goal difference of Botswana stands at 0. Comoros' goal difference stands at 1. So as things stands, Comoros will be the ones that will go through. As good as Botswana were in the opening 35 minutes, Zambia have been equally as impressive. They've continuously, consistently knocked on the door. And it's a set piece that proves to be the undoing of Botswana. It's a Group D thriller. Now in Group A, 3 nations finished on 4 points. Comoros in the lead in this Group D. Points don't really matter now, considering that Botswana aren't in the lead anymore. But this is a real chance. And the table has just been updated, so 4 points as things stand for Comoros, only the 2 for Botswana. The non-negotiable for them is to win this match. But as has already been shown, Zambia won't roll over. So Botswana need to demonstrate their hunger. And the quality, perhaps, of Ronaldo Fortune. No! Unfortunately, for Botswana, that's the outcome. The captain took it, and the captain blew the chance. Now Zambia have the momentum. But Botswana can steal it now. Good touch! Chance for Ronaldo Fortune. Another massive moment spurned by the Zebras. Guilty of overplaying the situation. And right there, I don't think the better option was taken, but it was a good touch, a very useful touch from Khamanyani. Calvin Mwanza is going to enter the fray, though. No regrets allowed for Botswana, but that is definitely one of them. Flicked on, went through the goalkeeper's legs and then hit the side netting. Did provide the opener. Khamanyani was denied his second, Botswana's third by Kalumba. And after fighting so hard, after earning the equalizer, the last thing Zambia would want to do is to concede again against Botswana. Ronaldo Fortune. The Zebras would have been very calm, very collected and composed when they conjured up a 2-goal lead in the first half. They might have deemed it smooth sailing for the rest of the match, only to find out that they are playing against the most successful nation of the COSAFA Cup, a nation that you can never count out, despite what the form books may suggest. Here's Ronaldo Fortune. Sakana faces John Soko. Seems like this is going to be a Botswana long throw-in, taking some inspiration perhaps from Banda. And I've really been impressed with how Akona Makalima has approached officiating this match. And here goes for the Zebras. Not a long run-up like Banda, but an equally impressive throw. Corner kick. And this was the early opportunity that presented itself to Khamanyane. But that's a crucial stop for Kalumba. A crucial stop not only for Zambia, but for Comoros. Danger still very much present and immediate for Zambia. Johnson, the left back, the country's captain. He goes in there! Botswana grab the lead yet again. Just like the Zambians have done. From a corner kick chance, it was a majestic delivery from their captain, Johnson. And it's unclear as to who got the final touch. Might have been Thabo Maponda. Indeed, it was Maponda. He's been a handful all game long for the Zambians, and that was an easy tap-in for him. And there's confirmation of the goal scorer. A nation rejoices. And another sighs in disappointment. Unless... Motusi Cooper started the last outing instead of Sedemeng. But Cooper is in the mix now. Another VAR check. Ongoing. And I think we are all systems a go. I think that goal will definitely stand. Let's go. 3-2 to Botswana again. So they are back on 4 points with Comoros. And their goal difference is back to 1-1. So as things stand now, Botswana are back to the top. Back as favourites to finish first in this group. All of Zambia's hard work has been undone. Thabo Maponda. Charles Zulu. Evans Kayombo showing his desire that wins a free kick to the Zambians. And while the third actor in this group, Comoros, are watching on, it's worth the mention that they are hoping to become semi-finalists for only the second time in the history with the COSAFA Cup. They were semi-finalists last year, and it would be immensely memorable for them if they can go 2 for 2 and qualify for back-to-back semi-finals. But so far, Botswana not allowing that to be the case. Mwiche whips it in there for Zambia. And there was a huge clash in the box. A massive coming together that needs medical staff to come and assist. Collision between two Botswana players. The goalkeeper, Thabo Motswagole, and Simon. Dealt with it appropriately, did the goalkeeper, and then after punching the ball, mistakenly punched his teammate. That's a righty and a lefty to the jaw. Seems like the goalkeeper is okay. The one medical assistant did give a thumbs up to the Botswana bench. Young supporters watching on, staying warm in the sunlight. The reserve goalkeeper also undergoing some warm-ups. And that stands to be the winner so far. Was a wicked Johnson delivery and gets the approval from the goal scorer, Thabo Maponda. Malapela is the standby goalkeeper, the second choice goalkeeper for Botswana during this COSAFA Cup. Good to see him in action. So 2 goals so far in the second half, and there's been a goal scored in the second half between Eswatini and Tanzania, as Kenneth Kasanga has been called upon. And he's going to fill the void that Harrison Chisala leaves behind. So Tanzania hold a 2-1 goal lead against Eswatini. Remember, Eswatini needed to defeat Tanzania in order to beat Madagascar to top spot in Group C. And now they seem to be in a world of trouble. Eswatini seem to be crumbling at the scene. They also scored first, just like Botswana did, and they allowed Tanzania to get back into the match. And now the Tanzanians have the advantage. A consolation match for them. Would be a statement victory. This would be a statement victory for Botswana. Wanza. Kasanga, the substitute. Johnson. Cooper. Moringwane. Maponda. Cooper. Restoring a level of focus and composure in the midfield. A season ago, down in Nelson Mandela Bay, Mozambique, Angola, Namibia and Comoros were announced as the 4 semi-finalists. The final day of the group phase was just as dramatic as yesterday was, and today has been so far. Long throw-in from Botswana, dealt with by John Soko. Came off Cooper last. It's desperate times for Eswatini in the other game. Botswana positioned where they need to be. It's a really good throw again by Ngada. Chance for the other centre-half, Simon. His header just loops on the top of the net. They're not going to get their corner kick, Botswana. There's Fred Mwiche, guilty of giving away that spot kick that Semadi converted for Botswana. But these players know now that they are entering the most important phase of the game. And it's taken a toll on the body. It's taken a toll for Thabo Motswakgole. These players are being put through the ringer. But unlike some of the other nations, Botswana and Zambia have only had to play 2 matches in this year's COSAFA Cup, which is both a disadvantage and an advantage. Depends if you're a glass full type or not. So will we see the introduction of the substitute goalkeeper, Lesenia Malapela? Morena Ramorebole will certainly not hope so. Continuity is best, especially in the goalkeeping department. Some of these players, especially some of these Zebras, will be heading to Morocco in December, but who they will be is still undecided for now. One thing is for sure, Zambia and Botswana will be heading to the north of Africa in the festive season. So it's definitely an exciting time for their supporters heading to Morocco, but their focus rests in Bloemfontein. Zambia can afford to look ahead, but not Botswana, for they have never defeated Zambia in the COSAFA Cup before. Now he's been dealing with this injury throughout the game. Every time he's taken a goal kick, he's pulled up. he desperately wants to finish. His left thigh is quite heavily strapped. Thabo Motswakgole looks offside. Not for now. Evans Kayombo. Gada needing to get Botswana out of this tricky spot. Gada again. Territory gained. History does dictate to us that Zambia are the all-dominant and Botswana are the underdogs, usually. It always seems to be so in the many renditions of this competition in which these two have faced off in the past, but not today. The script has been flipped. John Soko does ever so well, however, for Zambia. Charles Zulu. Cooper with a heavy touch. Like a good through ball, but good sweeping, keeping work by Thabo Motswakgole. Fair challenge in the middle of the park. Khamanyane losing out, Botswana losing out, Zambia hoping to capitalize. Mwiche. Wayward, off target. And he wants them to go more forwards, does Thabo Motswakgole, knowing full well that they cannot afford to invite Zambian pressure, and I think that's a good decision made by the goalkeeper. It might have been made for him. Can't afford to take another goal kick with that muscle strain very obvious. Charles Zulu. Thabo Maponda. As things stands, the current match winner. Simon. Doesn't pay off for Ronaldo Fortune, who had to watch it very closely with the ball coming from a shady region into a more sunny one, always tricky. Kasanga. Banda. Gets away with the loose touch, does Banda. Good ball from Banda to Andrew Piri. Doesn't make the most of it. Thabo Maponda with another divine touch. And there's no doubt that he's going to take on this defender now. Thabo Maponda. And he's going to lose out. He's often won those 1v1 battles on this left-hand side today. Not that one, though, against Sankala. Fred Mwiche. Cooper. Given away by Cooper. Chance for Owen Tembo. Kasanga into the box. Chance on the edge of the box, maybe. Again, it's from Tembo, who let fly. Banda. Heads it back to Tembo. Referee plays play on. Simari. Sakana and Johnson looked away immediately in disgust as soon as he kicked that ball. There's more news from the Toyota Free State Stadium. There's a red card check going on. Speaking of cards, Fred Muiche has been booked. Double change for the Copper Bullets. Joseph Piri replacing Andrew Piri. The other change, Golden Mashata. And if you may have been wondering, this is the 7th meeting between these two proud COSAFA Cup affiliated nations. And this matchup has been painted orange and dominated in the past. Botswana have never defeated Zambia. In fact, they've lost 5 of the 6 previous tussles. And they knew at the start of the day to advance, they had to defeat Zambia for the very first time in this competition. And they are on the right course. That red card, that possible red card is still being checked. Matters for Eswatini could go from bad to worse. Banda lets fly. Flies it wide. Ritsang. Amogelang Ritsang is going to occupy an attacking space in the place of Ronaldo Fortune. Who needs to be rested. Of course, if Botswana are to shore things up in this result, and if they are to progress to the Final Four, they need a fit and fully firing Ronaldo Fortune. But Ritsang is a good change to make. Simari. Zambia is in fact one of Botswana's more regular opponents in the COSAFA Cup. They've only played against South Africa and Eswatini more often than they have played against Zambia. So this is a match against a familiar foe, but not a familiar feeling for Botswana. Not often have they been ahead against Zambia. They are feeling as if this is their time to pounce in this year's COSAFA Cup contest. Johnson. Deflection again, that's going to be a corner kick for Botswana. It was a quick spin and strike from Simadi. Not the greatest ball in and not the greatest defensive aptitude either from Zambia. They scored from a corner kick already. I think it was the last corner kick that Johnson managed to take on that opposite side. Resulted in a goal. He whipped it in towards the 6-yard box in what is a very crowded 6-yard box. Johnson goes in there again, and Zambia struggled to clear. Cooper battles hard, but to no avail. The break is on for Zambia. Chance for the substitutes to impress. Mashata delivers into the box, and then a volley is over from Owen Tembo. quick break. Mashata meeting Simon, and then it originated from this corner kick opportunity for Botswana. It was again nodded goalwards by Thabo Maponda, but not with the same potency as his last attempt. Botswana did enter this final day group stage contest needing a goal and not anything less, and they've gone and produced 3 of them. They've consistently shown with all their different teams that they know how to score goals in the COSAFA Cup. They never really struggle to do so. Good header, good delivery, good header, and an easy stop for Kalumba. It's the 3rd time in a row now that Thabo Maponda has gotten on the end of a Johnson delivery for Botswana, so they clearly have a flourishing relationship when it comes to set-piece taker and set-piece finisher. Kasanga, the goalkeeper. They probably need to take him off. He can't continue. Mashata. Because the goalkeeper is clearly injured, Zambia must try their luck. They must test him. Clearly very uncomfortable. Kasanga was onside. The goalkeeper did read the play, just couldn't get up in time. Lucky enough for him, his teammate was in very close proximity to clear the danger. Kasanga has another opportunity, however. Zambia have another opportunity, however. It's a poor corner kick. You need to provide something better than that for the centre halves and the other players to contest in the box. That ain't going to cut it. You admire his willingness to continue. Sometimes it might be better to step away. Thabo Maponda pleading for the foul, and the referee does oblige. Johnson made it difficult for Simari. Owen Tembo takes charge of the situation. Cooper. Modingwani. Head collision, free kick to Botswana though. John Soko and Simadi have been at it all game long. That's a tough one to take. A teeth clencher. Well, he opened the show, did Khamanyani. Opened the show by producing the opening goal in this match. And it arrived terribly early on. It was probably going in already. But a kind deflection nonetheless. And that set the tone for the Zebras. Eswatini and Tanzania have entered stoppage time in their match. 8 minutes for stoppage time in that collision. We're still yet to reach that phase of play. It's Botswana that still maintain a lead here. Ritsang could take this. Johnson could take it as well. Ritsang runs over at Johnson for Botswana, goes for it, saved by Kolumba. And Kasana scratches it away. Simon. There you can see why he is a defender. And familiar territory for him. But not for Cooper, comfortable right there. Maponda, contender for man of the match. Few contenders for man of the match. Crunching tackle, he did get some of the ball, but he got a lot of the man, did Johnson. And he's definitely not in agreement with Akona Makalima, indicating to her that yes, it might have been a harsh and hefty challenge, but I did get the ball. But we can make sure now. Did get the ball, very reckless, however. Almost went over the top. But a challenge like that should stand. A challenge like that should not be booked. A lot of changes now again for Botswana. Karabo Piri, the latest. Telling impact that Thabo Maponda has made. Scoring the third goal for Botswana. Sankala off to John Soko. John Soko has been so good with those long field spreads. Banda, good cross from Banda, manages to get it one in there, and then it's blocked. Heroically so by Simon. Zambia want a penalty kick, they're going to get it. Their second of the game. Botswana were in cruise control, and now their status as semi-finalists is in jeopardy again. It clinched the hand of the substitute Ritsang. Third penalty kick of the day. Wow. They need some magic from their goalkeeper now. He needs to save this penalty if Botswana are going to go through to the semi-finals, because if he doesn't, Comoros will be granted passage. It's a must save for Thabo Motswakgole. And this is to spoil the party, to break Botswana hearts. The first penalty was converted by Zulu. Let's see how this one will go. Joseph Piri, the substitute. Can the sub make an impact? And land a bruising blow against Botswana. It's a huge moment in this game. In minute 90, it's tucked away. 3 penalties scored. Botswana no longer on the top of the group standings. They now have to score their 4th goal if they wish to go through to the semi-finals. And it's hard, tough luck. He picked the same side as Simadi did in the first half, did Joseph Piri. The goalkeeper correctly guessed the side in which to dive, but he's not at his peak powers. He's injured. And that might have prohibited his ability to really fling himself across. Be that as it may. Botswana must score again. They simply must. And they've got enough time to do so. 3-3 thriller it has been in the City of Roses. Eswatini are bound to have their hearts broken by the Taifa Stars, who lost against Madagascar, and they are going to win against Eswatini. They are less than 2 minutes away from doing so. But still 7 minutes to go in this contest to decide the final semi-finalists of the 2025 COSAFA Cup. And believe it or not, but the last time Zambia won a football match in the COSAFA Cup was 2 years ago, when they defeated Lesotho in the showpiece final to win the nation's 7th COSAFA Cup title. That was the last time Zambia, should I say, tasted victory in this competition. A lot of commotion on the bench. The bench of Zambia. And they weren't willing to freely give the ball back, and then Johnson let them know. He took out his frustration by throwing the ball against one of the members of the Zambian bench. And it's the retaliation that has caused the fire between the two. Zimbabwe did a massive favor for South Africa yesterday. Zambia nearly close to completing a huge favor for Comoros. And as we get towards the conclusion of the first phase, I must say it's been 8 consecutive days of tightly contested matches. Some faltered, others have soared. But after 8 consecutive COSAFA Cup days, tomorrow we do take a break from what has been a breathless tournament. And before we leave this place for the bigger, slightly more iconic venue for what one can only hope to be iconic COSAFA Cup semi-finals. And for the winners of this group, whether that be Botswana or Comoros, South Africa and Angola await in the semi-finals. Equally as dangerous, but those two nations had completely different routes to the second stage. Banda, it's flicked on by John Soko, and then a tame attempt from Evans Kayombo. South Africa did progress at the hands of great determined play, but undeniably Zimbabwean influence. Fred Mwiche. As for the Angolans, the defending champions are poised to recapture and defend their COSAFA Cup crown. Angola progressed to the second act of this competition without fault, stumble or hesitation. And the hesitation we've seen from Botswana today might just cost them in the end. And it's full time next door between Tanzania and Eswatini. Tanzania have defeated Eswatini, so Madagascar are the third semi-finalists of this year's COSAFA Cup. South Africa, Angola, Madagascar. 3 seats taken. It's still between Botswana and Comoros, and it's going to go down to the wire. It's ebbed and flowed. At certain stages, Botswana looked in control. Then Zambia brought Comoros back into the game, back into a semi-final place. And Makalima certainly hasn't been shy in dishing out yellow cards. So South Africa progressed with 4 points. Madagascar progressed with 4 points. And Comoros look poised to progress with 4 points as well. Unless Botswana can cough up a miracle. They've scored 3 times before. They are more than capable of doing so again. Command taken by Thabo Maponda. Evans Kayombo on his bike. Johnson too. Tug back on Johnson. Takes the free kick quickly. Kalima wants Botswana to take it again. It's now or never territory for the Zebras. Score or suffer early group stage elimination. I wish to remind you that they had the lead in this match more than once. 3 times that Botswana had the lead in this contest, so they really only have themselves to blame. A few massive calls by the VAR as well. This could wrap it up though, this could seal their fate. Off Modingwane. Botswana leaving it late. And they are running out of time. Seems like the writing is on the wall all of a sudden for the Zebras, who once upon a time in this match held a 2-goal lead, a clean 2-0 lead over Zambia. But they afforded the Copper Bullets roots back into the contest. And there's a corner kick to the Zambians, and that will in all likelihood be that. The final knife driven into the heart of the Zebras. And you really do feel for them. Zambia may have ended their duck in the competition, and they might be heading out, but on what note? Maybe on a winning note, who knows? Out from Ngara. Chance there, Evans Kayombo. The cracking attempt, then John Soko towards Kayombo again. Soko fouled on the edge of the box. Free kick to Zambia. We are in all likelihood going to witness the final bit of football in this match. The final bit of group stage football in the COSAFA Cup. And this was the chance. Kayombo drove it very well, but the injured goalkeeper Thabo Motswagole making a good stop. It's too little too late. So will the group phase end off on a captivating note, on a goal, on a free kick goal kind of a note? Some would say it favors the lefty, others say it would favor the right boot, maybe of Banda or Joseph Piri. Seems like Fred Muche has taken a keen interest in this free kick. Mwanza, the other contestant. So Mwanza or Fred Muche. Remember, gave away that penalty kick with some clumsy defending in the first half. And this is how the group phase will end. Muche. As worse a free kick you will ever see, I think. It needs delicacy, it needs a touch if you're so close to the box if you're so close to the goal, and that was far from delicate. And that's how it ends. The COSAFA Cup ends for Botswana and Zambia. And they have gone out after producing an entertaining affair, a 3-all affair, but Botswana will be left exceptionally frustrated. A semi-final spot was at their fingertips, and they let it slip in minute 90, when Joseph Piri converted from the penalty spot after the ball hit the hand of substitute Ritsang. So South Africa are through, Angola are through, Madagascar are through, and Comoros are through at the expense of Botswana. And on Friday, on this coming fateful Friday, South Africa will encounter Comoros. South Africa facing the winners of Group D, which is Comoros. And as I suspected, Thabo Maponda, the HollywoodBets COSAFA Cup player of the match. And at 3 o'clock on Friday, the first finale spot will be contested between Angola and Madagascar. This group stage has kept us on the very edge of our seats throughout, and this is how the final group match ends. What a thriller. Botswana 3, Zambia 3. Botswana needed to win, they couldn't. A look at the full-time report card. 10 shots on target for Botswana. They had more of the ball as well, and they would really be disappointed with the outcome. Certainly not with the effort. They gave it their all, but it turns out their all just simply wasn't enough. They could have qualified for the semi-finals for the first time since 2019, but it simply just wasn't meant to be. Eswatini have also had their hearts broken by the Tanzanians. The most successful nation of this COSAFA Cup have played their part. Botswana have played their part, and it ends 3-3. The group phase ends with the semi-finals to come.
We are joined by the coach of Zambia, Coach Beston Shambeshi. Coach, you bow out with a point. How would you assess the 90 minutes?
Yeah, it's, no, it has been an entertaining game. I think as a coach, I'm happy I've seen goals because we have been struggling here and there to score. But today we have come out, although it's a draw. But the boys have put up a fight. We are two down. We came from 2 down. We encouraged. Again, we came from 3-2. Scored 3-3. I think we played very well in terms of scoring. Although it's a draw, there's nothing you can say.
Coach, you started very badly, as you say. You came from behind. What changed things? What made you believe?
Yeah, but we considered, we saw the goals we considered were easy goals. So Botswana, they worked on our mistakes. But as I said, one good thing, the boys, they couldn't go down. They came out fighting, and it's better at least we came out with a draw.
And Coach, looking at the overall tournament, what lessons were learned? What are you taking out from this tournament?
As I said earlier, this is a COSAFA, they are doing a good job. We are seeing a lot of talents, and I hope and trust they will continue sponsoring this tournament, especially to the coaches, even to the administrators. I think it's where they have to learn something from this tournament, how to organize games. And I'm happy with the tournament itself. They've played well, although we are out, but I'm happy with the organization of this COSAFA tournament.
Thank you, Coach, and safe travels.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we are now with the coach of Botswana, Coach Morena Ramoraburi. Coach, case of so near yet so far.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that after so much hard work, we unfortunately we failed to qualify. I feel for them. I think they came here with so much belief that they will qualify, and I think their work rate, their commitment was really showing that they wanted to qualify. But one thing that one needs to mention, they came here as nobodies, but they are leaving this tournament as brands, as players that we can easily rely on them. I'm very proud of them. It's just unfortunate in a game of football, especially when you don't want to make mistakes. That's when we make mistakes. I think when you look at the goal they scored, especially the second goal from a corner kick, I think a lapse of concentration, because we could have done better. Unfortunately, they got 2 penalties. It's part of the game, and both penalties we can't really blame the players. The last penalty, I think Amo wanted to win the ball with the chest, but unfortunately it bounced and went back, so it went to his hand, and we immediately, it was a period where we have just made substitutions to try and close the game. It's just unfortunate that we have to take the results, disappointing results, but there's always another opportunity. So as much as we are disappointed, but I'm happy with what we have given today.
And speaking about that, 2 games, 2 draws, what lessons are you taking from this tournament?
I think the first one, I would say, if you look at our games, even World Cup qualifiers, you look at mostly the AFCON, we have done very well in terms of dealing with set pieces. But when you look here, I think a few things in terms of leadership and organizing, I think that's where we let ourselves down. We could have done better. But like I'm saying, we will take the 2 points, we'll take the 2 draws. Yes, this is the match that we do not want to concede. But I mean, these are lessons of the game. We'll take the lessons, and I believe that we'll improve and be better.
Thank you, coach, and safe travels.
Thank you. Sure.